Hello, Marth Godani, Dina Patel, welcome. Ramakrishna, hello. सबको मेरा नमस्कार. This is International Master and FIDE Senior Trainer Sekhar Sahu welcomes you on behalf of Sports Authority of Gujarat and Gujarat State Chess Association. Hello, Marth Godani, Dina Patel, welcome to this intermediate training session. So I will be covering today this other topic. Morning I did transposition from middle game to end game. I will be doing now opening to middle game. Of course, long term impact on the end game. So, my topic today is now opening to middle game, the transition, the planning. First, I pick up the game Sokolowski versus Botvinnik. I found this is very instructive. Let's have a look. So, Ramakrishna Baschal Parik, how to assess or test our positional tactical sense or like a test for with marks. Okay, I will recommend some books to you, Ramakrishna. There is a excellent book written by I think Blackstock or some player. Test your endgame ability. A fantastic book. There he gives time and mark also. The name of the book is Test Your Endgame Ability. So that is a good book. Then there is an excellent book written by a coach Valery Bain. He is a Russian but now migrated to Israel. Lessons in Chess Strategy. They are very good books. Lot of diagrams, positions, so you can use it as a test. You can improve your understanding. Suresh Bhai Chawda, good morning, good afternoon. So, reading chess books is the only way that you improve your evaluation, judgment, and ability to evaluate correctly. We need to feel because I am going to show positions how grandmasters evaluate, and the other player did not expect the move. Material versus position. Somebody has material, but other player has advantage in position, even at the cost of queen sometimes. Let's have a look at the game. The thematic hanging pawns. Very normal game. Grunfeld defense. This is this is actually want to decide. Maybe you should wait till the bishop comes because now bishop will get a better place. Before playing c5, he makes sure that knight does not enter. Now black is all set. Black has coordinated, he has castled and ready to play the active move c5. So this will give hanging pawns. If you have hanging pawns, make sure that pieces are there. If pieces are exchanged, the hanging pawn will be a burden. हेलो देवंग मकवाना. अगर पीसेस एक्सचेंज होते जाएगा, so these are the hanging pawns. So here it is good. But suppose we remove some pieces. Let us say remove the knight. This is bad position. But black will have active play and the correct timing he should advance this to give life is to his pieces. Let's have a look. So white is trying to strengthen that d4 point. I think this is losing track of the game. Now he is putting pressure there, but which is already defended three times. Already c5 has three time protection. This, I think, gives the initiative to white now. Black now. Rather forced. Now mid threat there is forced. Other moves will turn out badly. If you will play here, then that diagonal is powerful and the queen will come also. So this is bad. So he has to play a move like ng3. Now, as I told you earlier, that hanging pawns, the center pawn should advance at right time. Otherwise, it will be bad. So now, made threat, not made threat, serious threat, and he has achieved. There is already serious threat now. The position, I would say, clearly better for black now because the pieces are opening and a pass pawn has been created. Forced. He cannot stay in front of the rook. Knight attack, but now rook into rook means knight into bishop into. So a pass pawn is created and this is center. All pieces are very good. All are good. All pieces are doing job. Miserable knight. This is passive bishop, and now this is really bad position. Okay. Now the whole point is white has been planning from the opening to get this kind of position. Now you cannot threat. The threat is bad. Now queen into is simply ruling. Queen into loses. Queen takes. You will take it, and after this is just finished. Just finishing. Whatever you will do is in bad shape only. So here, just force. Now queen has to move. Now tempo. Unfortunately, white cannot play f3. If white will play f3, where is the move? 28th move. Okay. If white plays f3, that also is bad. Knight into pawn, pawn into bishop takes pawn. Now this is all control. So he has to go somewhere. Now d2, it is all crossing. This does not help to win the. Of course, he will win the rook, but in this case, maybe pawn into and now queen into. I think the check is enough to win. This seems to be the only move because queen cannot come. Bishop coming to e3, so only move. But here, maybe here, I think this should be enough because queen checkmate is threatened, or a simple rook also is enough. Simply rook is winning, bishop is winning. So he cannot play f3. That means after bishop g4, he has to move and d2. It's all over. The rolling of pass pawn. In this game, Botvinnik has showed about how to make use of hanging pawns, number one, of central pass pawn and active pieces. Very well demonstration of strategic ideas by Botu. Yeah, this is a good game. In many chess books are there. Parvatakar, North Godani, Veerabhadra Singh, please ask question. It makes it interactive. Okay, I will ask questions. Ask some questions. I will ask. From the next game onwards, I will ask questions. पावर तो है ना चार्ज हो गया आई हैव टू पुट इट ऑफ बैटरी डाउन हो जा रहा है let us see some strategic ideas next I have handpicked how many 15 games for this session The next game I present to you, white is Anatoly Karpov and black is Boris Spassky. So it is a Scassellin Scaveningen. There are many ways. White can play Sozin attack, white can play this Rouser attack, white can play Keras attack, white can play also Tal attack. Tal attack means just B3, F4, Queen F3. This is B3 followed by F4, Queen F3. White plays a simple line. So castle. So this is a regular line and Scavenian system normal. The idea of the move to, to exchange the knight and play bishop c6, pressure on the center. He wants to take and then come here. So black denies that. Okay, all these things there is no question because everything is so natural and normal. Here onwards, it is very interesting. Now, white place I will make the opening move. Let's me take the opening move. Preparing for bishop to c6 and d5. So he comes here. How would white continue now? Let me ask you now question. I am starting stream. Can you come? Who is starting stream? Hello, it is hello. I am also starting stream. How can I come? I don't understand. Now you are starting stream. Where I will come? What is the site? I don't know. Okay. So here, please find. Now I am asking how should white play? White has various plans. Planning in middle game. Now the focus point is center. What he says e5. Ramakrishna says e5. No, knight d4. Because now this knight is doing nothing. At that moment I had moved, but now the position is changed. So knight d4 is a good move. So he plays g6. Idea, he wants to bring the rook to d2 against the queen. Pawn into and queen. Now the whole point is there are full of weaknesses. Lot of weak pawns, weak squares. I would say you can see this point. Why queen here? Because in the absence of the white square bishop, the queen should come. Fantastic position. So RD2 is a good move, but this is much stronger. Straight away, queen is finding a place here. Prophylactic move. I don't want NG4 to come and take my bishop. So prophylactic move. The idea is he wants to come here now. The bishop wants to come here. Take, and white position is better. Okay, now I have already told, so I will make the move queen c4. How are you going to handle this position now? The move is forced. He has attacked, so your rook should come d2. Now onwards, it is very instructive. It is important to find a plan. You know, if a player is general moves, if you are doing general moves, you will not get anything. You need to make a plan. What should be the plan here? What should be the plan? The position white is better. Why white is better? Black has more pawn island. White has white has also weakness. Black has many weak pawns and weak squares. So white should be clearly better. What should white do now? Rook f1. No, basically what happens? You have to drive the bishop from here. You cannot play rook double. Rook f1 general move you cannot do. So if you say general move, it is a good move. But what is the next plan? Now already there is two support, three support. So general move should not do. What you should do plan? I want to drive the bishop from here. So that means someday this knight should come to this point. Then once the bishop goes, the rook will double. Once the bishop goes, rook will come to f2, rook d1. I will put pressure on the point, force him to play. Then the white squares will be very weak. So how does he do that? Rook. Now maybe this is, I don't know, this is maybe not the best move. He has attacked. Now what to do? As I told you that now let us see how are you going to react on this. Pawn island white का भी है, but here this pawn island this is too much bad compared to this. White has three island, but this pawn is doing a good job. This pawn is watching the squares. So and this pawn island is no problem. So white is much better in pawn structure, and white pieces are ideally placed. So what will you do now? Simon Furman was the coach of Karpov. The game was going on, and demonstration board Simon Furman saw, and he said, "What Karpov will do now?" The knight mobility is bad. The main idea the knight comes. Exchanging we get nothing. So the knight comes here with the hope that when he takes, the knight will come the correct square, driving the bishop. And this will also help to push the knight. This will also help to push the knight. Now, king. Because I want to drive king. Next job, he is not taking. I want my knight to come. So if he is not taking, make a room. Make a room here. This is possible. First you drive, then knight should come to f3. Then only you can double. Now knight. Now knight. Sooner or later you have to play. If you defend this pawn like this, then g5 will come. So the position is now very weak. The structure has given lot of squares for white. Okay, you will say, what are you going to do with the squares? What are you going to do? That I will have access at right time. The king cannot go. And if you rook, there is a target. So these are clear better for white. Okay. Threat, pressure. This is the idea. Now rook is entering. Now RD7 is entering. So only move. So take rook once again. The position is nearly lost. He has to go back with the knight to defend. What are you going to do now? What are you going to do? How are you going to play now? Bishop c5, good move. Because at tempo, I want to take and be at tempo. Now there is a problem. You have to defend. Finish. The f6 weakness and the king, everything is over. The whole house will go now. You rook f8, you take 2 pawns, 3 pawns, everything. Resign. So the point to be learned to lesson, of course, here the variation is not so bad here. This is not so good. The position is not so bad. Now the position he can fight it out. Maybe here he can play a6. This is possible with a preparation to play queen c7. I think there is a lot of fight left. Maybe here a6, maybe here rook e8, queen b8. There are many moves, but this created a lot of weaknesses. So this gives, and now the idea is to strike the center with lot of weak squares in black camp. All right, I go to the next one. Let's say Spanish Open d5. How are you going to handle now the position? What should white do now? Bishop c5. When is the bishop c5? Yeah, last diagram. Move bishop c5 that is very good move because tempo and rook into d8. That was good move. What are you going to do now? Knight into pawn is just bad for white. This is just very bad. So what are you going to do? Kiara Mehta, bishop c5 followed by nc3. Yes, bishop d5, bishop d5. Marth Godani, bishop d5. Good move. Knight into pawn is a bad move. Of course, here bishop d5 is possible. Bishop d5 and nc3, but better to play direct nc3. Here, the position is little more. I mean, when opponent is cramped, queen takes and knight c3, queen will come. That position is also good, but better come direct. More option, more flexible. Pawn takes bishop d5 with plus. Knight into is not possible. So he comes bishop e6. And now knight into and rook into plus minus. The position is just bad because it is not regular Spanish open. In the regular line, black king has castled, but now there is pressure on e6 and the tension on d4. The tension on d4 and knight into pawn. Now you can see full of weaknesses. This is a hanging, this pawn is weak, this is also squares. E5 does not work. If you play e5, I think queen check should win because now g6, knight into. Queen is guarding the back rank, a disastrous position. So here, so he castles. E5 does not work. So castle, queen g4. Forced, rather forced. Now white has completed development and got clear superior pawn structure and very active pieces. Tempo, okay. How to handle the position is good, but many times we get good position and fumble, we lose our way. What is the plan for white now? How should white make progress? What will you do now? Fisher was playing really great, great player. Fisher finding finding correct moves. Veerabhadra says Bishop D4. Correct. Force rather only move. Now you can see that white has controlled the center. White pieces are centralized. Not only have a superior pawn structure, superior center and more active pieces. Advantage in all three factors. So that there is no shock or treatment. Now the king is safe. There is no pressure on G2. Full lineup. Rook into E6 is threatened now. Now defend. Already a hard time. If you move some king moves, these are all very weak moves. If you move king f7, then b3, and now next I will drive c4. The king, rook, everything is exposed position. So he decided to play here direct c4. It should win. Technically, it is winning. Just pure technique. It is one extra pawn, and this is just winning easily. Lost. There is no problem in winning because the king is cut off, and now still I will demonstrate the further winning. If you will play rook here, then king will come, and king will come here, and winning king will come to c5 and b4. So just it is all lost. And now this pawn will be two. The king is cut off also. Rook is cutting off the king, and this pawn will this pawn will go quickly. Over. Okay. Kasparov versus Agdashtein. B6 is a bad move. B6 A6. So what should white do now? Right from opening, I'm asking how should white play now against this bad system? What will you do now? Our job is to castle quickly. So what we should do now? Normal move is bishop d3. But don't you think that this check first, so that when you play, I come back. Then I come back to bishop. So giving a check, then it hampers the coordination of pieces. Now if you play, suppose you play knight is bad, knight is bad, knight e5 will come. It's a clear better. So you have to play c6. This is good. That means you have to play for any kind. That means you are forced. At this point, you do not want to play c5. You want to play knight, bishop e7, castle. But now this forces and discomfort position. White has got a small because of the drawback of b6. White has already got small advantage. Center. He has surrendered the center. Now it is Definitely white is plus minus. White has castle, better center, and also, I mean, the loose pawn structure. White has got a4, a5 plan. White can play queen e2, rook d1 plan. So several plans are possible. White has already coordinated. Okay. Now the point is, here you need to think. The point is, black is trying to generate some activity. Now he's preparing to play some move like this move or pressure. He wants to come queen here. So we need to now rebut the plan with bishop. He will not be able to play c5. If you play some queen move coming here, then I will play a4. Now he cannot play c5. You have to support the point. Now I am going to play a5. No, no, no. I think here I have to play rook here first because bishop a6 move. I have to play rook here with a clear advantage. Rook here with advantage here. So d4, he has to go back to protect the bishop so that he can play. So go back. No, I think he did. I overwrite. I overwrite. Yes, this is terrible. I did overwrite. So here in the position, go back. A4. Now I am threatening to play A5 also. Clear better. The position now is plus minus. The reason I want to plant my knight on E5, but pin. So I move the queen. This is just very strong position. Now outpost. Then this point is weak. The unprotected pawn, and apart from that, the rook is ready to come. It is all that bad b6, hard move, bad b6, a6. These are bad moves. Rook e1. Now, whatever you do, it is bad. He actually, I will tell you one psychology. Once a player gets a bad position, he is mentally dejected. Dejected. He feels very upset inside. He is not in a mood. Now he makes one bad move after another bad move. He wants tactics. He wants opponents to make some get into a trap. I think psychologically a player has to be mentally very strong. Even in a bad position, you play systematically. Try to give a fight. This is collapsing. And Black is a grandmaster of reputation. He was the coach of Magnus Carlsen, a 2600 plus grandmaster. Dejected. Okay. So now there's so many weaknesses. So many weaknesses. The position is already bad. So however, still he can put up a fight. But this is just bad. What is there to see now? Lost. Game is over. So a player should refrain. वो ऐसा सब move नहीं खेलना है. B6, A6, these are bad moves. These are bad moves. Why A6 is played? For example, now in the line, there are two lines. In the Taras variation, there are mainly two main plans. One is this is called the classical line. Then white will play this and black. Then white can play f4. This is and knight f3. This is one plan. White can play also here bishop d3. This is another plan. So in any case, white is marginally better. So instead of knight f6, the second plan is to play c5. c5. In this case, white can play here knight f3, knight c6, knight c6, pawn takes, and bishop comes. This is the main line. Or direct, or he can play even direct bishop here. Pawn into pawn, and now pawn into pawn, and now bishop check. Idea that queen will come into check. He will want to exchange this pawn and make it a weak pawn and play against that. This is the main strategy. After bishop here, queen check, white get an advantage. So the main plan when you play c5, this take, this check is coming. Now or after nf3. So this is the main plan. To avoid this bb5, sometimes players know they play a6. They play this bad. They play here. When you play here, and d2, they play this bad. To avoid this kind of positions, this checks. So these are bad moves. Okay, let us deal how to discuss how to deal with this line. Okay, this is gone. No, this is gone. Completely gone position. Next game we'll see. Irrational play. Irrational. The demand of the position you have to play. You cannot play just anything by desire. And d2, bad move. What he wants is to play c5, c5, and then he will not get that bishop c b5 line. In fact, I played this. I played this kind of moves when I was very young because wanted to avoid the theory. I played this also in a rapid game. I played this also, and I won. In one game, I played this also, and I beat a good player by playing 97. Why 97? Because there is this square. This square is not protected. Now, suppose you play here knight f3. Now, the whole point is, what are you going to do now? Now, you need to develop your piece. I am not. If you push, this is bad. This is just a bad move. I'm playing now. If you play knight f3, now I will play maybe something like c5. This is possible. Now c3. So there are so many moves, but this is the one I beat a very strong player, a well-known player. So these are bad moves. Bad moves. 97 bad move. White simply get an advantage c3. What are you going to do now? Where are you going to go with a knight? Now pawn takes pawn is a bad move. This is simply strong for white. So it all works only surprise value, no good move. So here let us examine a6. Let us examine what happens a6. So knight f3. Now bishop d. Naturally, I don't want to push. This will turn out not so good. Not great move. So that move a6 I want to punish because it will have no link for the strategy. So just develop. Now push. There is enough support on d4. Another bad. Let me tell you, if you are not paying attention what opponent is doing, you will get into trouble. For example, he wants to start pushing the pawn h5, g4, h5, bring the queen, bring the rook, bring the bishop, and then sacrifice a piece. So, how to react? You don't play move like h3. Huh? You don't try to knock out. I want to found a simple plan. He wants to come here. So, this knight has to decide where to go. And I don't want to go knight here, knight here. So, very good. The knight will relocate. The knight will come here and then come here, supporting this as well and preparing to come here as well. So, welcome, knight. Okay. Now, what to do now? How to handle the position? White has got excellent play. Black has just pushed the pawns. His king is bad, and there is no piece in attack. There is no plan of attack. So, how should White play now? White now should plan simply to develop these pieces. You must think of developing the pieces. Come out of opening. So, White play rook first. Because make a room for the knight. This makes it easier for White now. Because it is clarified. plus. Now I am going to relocate the bishop to c3 and queen d2, completing my development. And possibly very bad. Queen into f3 will come. Plus position. White is getting all coordination now. Well coordinated. Now white pieces are much better compared to black scattered pieces. The queen side of black is bad. Even king side is also not good because it looks like it is blocked, but it may open up some time. Now I want to double on the C line. Not taking it. Taking is a bad idea because you will give a hole on d5. Suppose you take it now, from nowhere he will try to get a life on this point. He will relocate the bishop, and then this is all problems will start. From a fantastic position, you will only give counterplay to black. So you should not avoid taking this. Now I want to plant the knight. After I coordinate everything, I will take the knight. You take. Now you see, after he has planned, then now the knight is watching, so he has to take. Okay, what else do? Yes, sir. White king position is superior, and now the pass pawns have come. Okay, these pass pawns have no value. Why? Because I'm watching them. My pieces are watching. The pressure is queen is watching the pressure. You have to support that. You have to bring more support. I will not allow the pawn to move. Paralyzed. Gone position. This is not a dead position because there is break is there. I can bring the king all the way, before breaking. The position is closed. Maybe I will show you one or two games when the position is completely dead closed, how to play such positions. I will show you. I saw a game of Zanadi Kuzmin. No, how to play such positions. At right time, you have to give a piece and open up. Now white will get 3 pawns for the piece. Check. Now this pawn in danger and black squares. The bishop has become a monster now. Monster. He has 3 pawns for the rook and also the bad king situation. The threat is to take the knight and then some checks will come, finishing the game. Supported. How we are going to meet the threat now? Now you are unable to coordinate. A disaster. Finish. Oh, the roller. This is a dead piece. The two pass pawns. Dead is winning. Now I want to show you the close position, how to handle close positions. I saw a game. Well, on the receiving end was Grandmaster Praveen Tipse, and opponent was Zanadi. इधर गए हो. Zanadi Kuzmin was black. Probably nahi. It is there. This is called Archangel variation. So opening white is playing correctly. Grandmaster Tipse is white. So regrouping. The position is just about equal. Black is preparing counterplay on the queen side with pawn b4. So white is playing, showing aggressive intention. Okay. Now the attack is transferred to a positional struggle now. Now white has no more attack, but now black is better. We must see what are the strong point of black. What is strong point of black? First of all, that there is no attack on black king. Now, if you look at the king position, there is this king is more active compared to this, and this break is available. The bishop is having no life. This is now a good bishop, but no target. This now is a good bishop if you in the structure, but no particular target. Regrouping the piece to back to d6. Now it looks like a dead position because there is no break is there. Now there is no queen side pawn break. Even if you come here and try, this you will ignore. Even if you come here, this is not doing getting anything because you open up, you get nothing. So the position looks completely dead and draw because white has file. But note the way Grandmaster Black plans. He wants to put pressure on the G2 point, and he brings all the way the king here to safety. King. Now this bishop comes into action. Regrouping. Okay. Waiting. Now there are this piece is a dead piece. Dead completely, doing nothing. No diagonal. He wants some weakness. You play some move like h3. I want to come and give threat. This is the only good piece. If you give, there is other piece is dead. So white has made it. Now black has made an achievement. Now I will tell you in such positions you need lot of patience here. You have to try and see when the defender is completely worn out. Worn out means वो थक जाता है without doing any activity, psychologically goes down. You have to just make waiting move. You have to waiting move, and do nothing. You wait for opponent to do something. So here he plays rook. Now one of the idea, I want to put pressure sometime. I want to make this break sometime. I want to play h5, h4 sometime. So these are the ideas, but he's not revealing. You need patience. Now I think he cracked. This is a mistake he has done. Still he should wait. Now black should wait still further. Black should wait like this. And black should play rook here and trying to escape to queen side. This is probably the best chance. But I think he was worried. Now black white worried that he is coming here, coming here. So after the move here, pawn push rook here, and if you push the pawn further, I'm going to king. Now sacrifice will not work. King has an escape at e2. King will escape. But after the move here, psychologically, this move causes all the problem. Now note this. He is trying to do the same thing. But now, why this move? He is actually making the king completely no check and wait. I will play move like this and just waiting. Just waiting. Waiting. After some move, he is playing c5. Now he is giving a threat, but this is not at all doing anything here. If he will take bishop into pawn, the bishop will be trapped. Bishop will be trapped, I think. I think the bishop is trapped now. Probably. Maybe pawn into pawn and rook here also coming. So he should not take. He played in the game rook here. A mistake. A serious mistake. We should see, I will tell you, the player gets tired of waiting moves. Now here, why this is a bad move? Because when I come here, you come this one. This is the one. The bishop goes to a bad place. It will never come out again. He would rather put the bishop. Suppose in the position here, if I push, he will come bishop here. And then if someday the bishop will come to f1. But now the bishop is dead. And the sacrifices come now. Now you will get, after the pawn is taken, rook takes pawn, and then another rook will enter. Now pawn into, then he will play rook coming to enter, and the bishop is gone. Then both rook will enter 8th rank. Enter. Should win the game now. Because after rook into, the rook into pawn, and now this sort of things will not work. Because now this piece is dead and now this pawn will fall also. This is winning. Okay. So how to handle a close position? Some 80-90 moves, but it is winning. Okay. Just you need to have a patience. You don't be impatient. In close positions, you need to learn to wait. You must not be impatient. So A6, I will show one more game, which is a bad line anyway. Better. Now the D4 square. White has seized a square in center, seizing a central square. I will bring a bishop. I will not leave that. The piece will constantly replaced. The position already is bad. Necessary because sometimes that some tricks comes and he is preparing strategically before f5 when the file should be ready to occupy with the rook. Want to exchange the dark square strategically. If this bad piece exchange for good piece, then all dark squares will be very weak. bishop. White has now got a positional advantage already. The dark squares. The end game will be unattractive. You want to exchange queen, it is bad. Anyway, attack will come without queen on the board. Now attack will come. The king cannot castle. Necessary. Go. White will bring the rook and open king's queen side. Plus minus. Finishing the game now. The king is open up. You cannot take the pawn. Whether you take or not, it is all lost. You will lose. Now resign because on this move, now rook takes pawn. I doubt any defense is coming. I don't think any defense is possible. This should finish. So basically, this a6 move is a bad move. Okay, I will show. Now a6 I leave. Have I kept one move? No, I now Sicilian dragon. Actually, in my opinion, there are only two good plans. Black's disposal. Nowadays, Black should play here Bishop d7, followed by Rook c8. This is my old main line. Or sometime Rook b8. This is also okay. Chinese dragon. But Queen a5 line simply is not. It is almost disappeared from top level. However, we should know the theory. So here, Queen a5. Just want to attack. This pawn is normally given for opening the h file. Whether you take or not, it is bad. Now next time sacrifice. Now rook into. This is not going to work. Queen check, then king d2, there is nothing. So he brings queen c5. Push. Now rook into will come. Okay, other plan here also. This is also possible. Here also, here you can also possible in this position. What I was thinking here. Here, this is also possible. Variation which I was calculating here comes here. Now, what variation I was calculating? We need to check. What are you doing for queen e3 check? What variation I was thinking? You don't need to worry because the knight is under attack. Queen check, you can just play kb1. And queen takes c2, pawn into f6 should be winning. So, the gameplay, rook into knight. Rook takes pawn. It should win. Now he closes a line. How should now white continue the attack? Good afternoon, Situ Nandi and Tanmay Azmera. Yes, theme, good night, bad bishop, Kuzmin game. What to do now? This position. How should white continue? You need to do some activity. Otherwise, black will consolidate. If you give time, black will consolidate. So it should be non-stop action. So white plays very nicely. Pawn push. Why? Because if you give queen check immediately, then he will come here. And now your rook is under attack. When you take the rook, your rook is under attack. The king will have find a safe place. That is why before taking pawn, he makes it complete open. Now if you take this way, then your king does not get shelter. Queen check, and rook h7 check will come. So the king does not get shelter. Then he will lose a full rook, exchange at least. But now he has to take knight into pawn. And queen into and X-ray. The bishop is now really acting. X-ray on this point. The king, rook f5 finish. X-ray attack of the bishop. Now he must lose the queen minimum. Then there is no fun. We lose the queen and take lost. Another good move. Not playing mechanically. Now knight and now after knight on knight, queen check and pick up the rook and win the game. So the whole idea is that you cannot play something queen a5 coming lousily and rook into knight. A different players always confuse themselves. So in a different position, I think I showed Velimirovic's one game. Some bishop h6, rook into. Who played that with him? Some player, British player played with him. So you should never confuse the same tactics in different position. Now this is not good move. For example, now pawn into is bad because queen into pawn and now knight f6. You can play bb5. Clear advantage to white because this is the one he wants to come. No, here David Brownstein played once this. This is also good idea. After knight c6, queen a4, and after knight queen e4. White stands better. But here black will have some activity because the knight will come back into the game. So white at the moment is good, but black has play. So here this variation is stronger. This variation is stronger. BB5. Now if you play a6, I'm going to push. You play pawn into this is a bad position. Or double pawns, I will castle quickly. It turns out to be bad. So in the game he played here, and here after d4 uh, bishop, and this is bad. Bad for white, I think. Queen check. Now knight will come. Now black should not take. This is bad to give dark square bishop. A player should not be greedy. Bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes, bd2. White is clear better. This position clear better. Just I think this position is fantastic. I don't know. Probably tall. I think white is tall. Very strong position. So you cannot take that pawn. Now the correct move for black is to play knight h6. Tempo. A tempo. And next I will play queen into pawn. Now if you go attack, again I will go back. Now you have to play s3 something. Knight is coming here. S3 and now knight c6, castle d6. Black is doing fine. You have not got Yugoslav attack. It is a dragon position. You have not got face the Yugoslav attack. So this should be all right, perfectly playable. But in the actual game, what happens? Here he played c5. Correct move. e6. Now bishop check. The standard move, the whole point is how we are going to regroup. The one of the plan you may play b2, you know, this one. Then black will have a very easy game. Knight f6. Now castle, castle. Now knight c3. No, maybe knight c3. On knight f6, you have to play knight c3. Now castle, castle. And black now will break this point. This is he will come here, and when you take it, he will have freedom. The knight will come, the bishop will come, and then d5 will come. Let us say you play a move like h3 with the idea of bishop f4. Now you want to play this h3, right? Whose move? Castle. Now here only I will break. Now this is all very easy. Now the d5 background will stop. The knight is just coming. Very comfortable game. It is giving to equal chances. Symbolic better for white. That is why to avoid all these things, the whole variation, white plays now check. This will be bad. Then you will have problem of development. So bd7. Now a4. Now if you take the a file will open up. Why a4? Now if you come back, suppose you come back, then black may play b5. That is the reason a4 is a good move. I can retreat without the b5 move. So knight, knight, castle, castle. White is clearly better now. Because if you come bg4, you are losing time also, and I will play s3 to surrender the bishop. So he played here knight h6. Clear better. Of course, pawn into was also okay, but this is clear advantage. Okay, I want you to find out how to handle this position. A player should have a feeling. A player should have a feeling. Now I will tell you strategically this break should come. But now this needs protection. This needs support. How to handle rearrange your pieces? It is a good idea. This rook will come here and start. This is a good idea. Or maybe you can play bishop f4, queen d2. So he plays rook here. Now I will push c3. Then all white pieces are in action. The rook a1 has come, and now the whole board where white can play queen side, white can play king side. Go away, winning the game. Now you can see his pieces are so active. Only white will gain when the game opens up. White has more better pieces. No need to exchange queen. Horrible position. Very weak king. King is weak. Pieces are all funny. Decentralized queen, decentralized knight. Don't go because the pawns are unprotected. Mechanically, you will get counterplay. He will get counterplay with knight c5. So play like this. You can see this is hopeless and the position. The b3 pawn will fall. This is the one coming. This is the one only hope to this and this square. This is the only hope. So exchange that if he comes. Better resign. This position is no counterplay. Back rank is also not problem for white. He cannot dislodge. Finishing the game. Pawn down, another pawn down. Everything is perfect. I don't want to take chance. Some rook into knight will come. No chance. Over. So this is just I'm giving an example. And black is a strong GM. Black is a quite a strong GM. The whole variation becomes bad. The grandmaster keep working. They keep working all the time. For example, I will show you. I think one Indian IM plays this. You used to play. I don't know. S. Nitin used to play a lot of games. I saw S. Nitin playing this variation. Now E4 C5, knight F3. Now suppose you play. No, maybe D4 C5. This can come in this mode also. This can come like this also. Now D6, knight C3. Now knight F6, E4. Now G6. White can avoid. Now going to knight F3. White can also wait. Now you play. I can wait. Now you castle. I can wait. Now the whole idea. I will not allow the bishop coming. Then where are you going to plant the bishop? कहाँ पर जाएंगे आप? This is also giving plus. One of the idea of white is to bring the knight here, and knight here. Let us plant the knight on this point. This structure is occurred on very important game in the World Championship 1978, last game between Karpov and Korchnoi. Karpov demonstrated a very nice setup. That game also worth deserves attention. So let me take you to that game before I enter to next. Very important game. Anatoly Bhai Karpov and Victor Bhai Korchnoi. Ramakrishna Sahu, Ramakrishna says, okay, future RG3. Good afternoon, Naran. Now here, let me show you that wonderful game. Now Victor Korchnoi. Victor Korchnoi was black there and Anatoly Karpov was white. Karpov Korchnoi 78. It should be the game. Yeah, this is the game. Please note the structure is very important. Now D5. So black is preparing to play B5. B5. So that you will take twice and knight into E4. So stops that. Now note the way he is playing. Why this move? Now the strategy of white is to prepare for the break. This is the thematic break. But this needs protection. So good move. Actually, if you delay, suppose you do not do any activity, I will play S3. Suppose let us say you play like move like A6, preparing to bring the rook here and someday to prepare for this. But I will play S3. Now if you play knight S5, too late. I will maintain. Now the bishop is permanently maintaining. I am going to play queen d2, rook double and play e5. Crushed. You will be getting crushed black. So you must attack now. You must attack now. So bishop. I want a weakness. You play h6 something. Now this is very nicely handled. I am stopping all kind of activity on the diagonal. The center is protected. The rook will come and will open up. The point is how many? One, two, three, four. So I have guarded. So and next I am preparing to open up because rook is there. So I don't need to worry about the practice. Strategically only black is outplayed. Another waiting move. This. Now what happens? Suppose you play. He was thinking you can come here like this. This is one of the idea. Okay, you take some queen into, but now he's stopping that pawn also. Only move. Now rook against queen. I want preparing to exchange. The attention is shifting to king side. The whole cluster of pieces. All this is there within this square. In this limited within this square, in area of 6 squares, so five pieces are there. डूइंग नथिंग। अभी ये छोटा सा एरिया में कितना क्रैम्प है, ये एरिया में है, कितना छोटा एरिया है। दिस इज सो बैड। Take position king side is weak. Now the e5 break will come with a more effect. Just outplayed only. It is black pieces are bad and is waiting on the king side. The king defense has become weak. Finally, finally strikes. What else you will do here? What else you will do? If you play some knight into pawn, I guess I think here I think here knight check should win because you take queen check and you come queen is finishing. This is finishing, or you may go queen, then queen h6 is coming. So you cannot dare not take that. He takes pawn into and queen takes pawn. It's all over. All weak pawns. Now fully centralized pieces. All white pieces are in action. The knight is bad. Idea. Now bishop here. It will be disaster. Everything. खत्म हो गया। दो पॉन आप है। अब ये मार भी सकते हैं हम, इसको भी उड़ा सकते हैं, इसको भी उड़ा सकते हैं, बट जरूरत नहीं। सो यू कैन सी द होल सेटअप। आई लाइक द सेटअप। वो कार्पो क्वीन d3 जो खेला है, तैनात किया। देखो ये कैसा तैनात किया पीसेस को। ये जो है इधर है, हाँ, दिस पॉइंट ऑनवर्ड्स एक्सेलेंट, अनदर एक्सेलेंट, रेडी, फंटास्टिक अरेंजमेंट ऑफ पीसेस, total demonstration of science, center and centralization. Good afternoon. Ramakrishna says, can you tell about Benko Gambit? Yeah, Benko Gambit is good. Benko Gambit, I recommend young players to play. The reason is the Benko endings are good. Benko endgames are always excellent, no pawn weakness, and there is enough really good compensation for the pawn. Really good compensation black gets. Of course, if your opponent is a very big player, so he can win. Whether you play Benko, Benoni, it is not doesn't matter. But in the normal game, Benko gives very good, and I recommend Benko Gambit. I played once like a Benko Gambit. Once I played a game somewhat like Benko Gambit. Maybe I can show that. Maybe, maybe I can show. It not exactly Benko, but came like a Benko Gambit. Right? Why it is not coming? Yeah. Here, my opponent was in London, Lloyd's Bank, London. Lloyd's Bank is 7. I was back in the game. Here I offered a gambit, and it turned out to be good. So now you need to. I knew actually this was not prepared. I knew that black has to operate in both the diagonals files. So I want my all these three pieces should work in the line. So I played rook, queen, rook. Now this is another move. He should have played s3 here. This is a very important move. Now he played bad move. This gave me full advantage. Now all three heavy pieces. I am gunning here. All this thing pressure all the time. And this is also pressure. And the knight is coming. I mean this knight is coming to center to occupy the squares. This is already black is clear better. Because my opponent simply did not expect that he will turn to a Benko type of position. So easily outplayed him. Otherwise the knight will come. So उसको यही खत्म करो. Minus plus. All black pieces are in action. Everything, and now the queen side is gone and he will have a problem on king side also. Gone. So Benko, I recommend. See, there are type of positions. I will tell you. B4, knight f6, C4, C5, B5, B5. Now white can accept the gambit. Best is to accept. Declining the gambit is passive. Takes now a6. So white can play knight c3 here. White can accept the pawn. Okay, white can play knight f3 also. So various moves are there. Queen c2 also. So white can play f3 also. With the idea e4. Now this position, I today only I have kept one game of Benko Gambit. I think I have kept a game Benko Gambit. If I see, have I kept a game of Benko Gambit? Yeah, I have kept one Benko Gambit game. I will show you. I will show you. So there are various plans, and I like Karpov's plan is good. Simply coming the king fianchetto and coming very slowly we play. And there are sharp lines are there. And now here nc3 is also good move. Now pawn into pawn e4 and pawn push knight here. This is also a good line for white. You can't take the pawn. Queen e2 is winning. So on this one, now still bishop f4. Still you cannot take the pawn. Queen e2. No, queen e2 is good. Now threatening coming. So this is still bad. So here there are a lot of variations. Knight c3 is there. Then there is another line also here. Here you can play pawn into pawn. And now g6. You can play nc3, bg7. You can play f4. Now castle, knight f3. Idea, now I am going to play e4. This is also a good position. Very active position. I recommended one student of mine, I recommended variation against Benko Gambit. Take, take the pawn, g6, knight c3. Now bishop g7, g3. Now castles, bishop g2. Now d6. I recommended to play h4. The idea is not to attack. The idea is not to attack. The idea is to anchor. I want to plant a knight in this position. Then there is no g5. Now you play bishop takes pawn. I play knight. And you play knight here. I am going to play this. This is good. White has got fantastic control. Now knight is watching this square, this pawn, this point. So the knight, you cannot dislodge the knight. So there is no attack. So all is solid. Basically, I saw this game. First, I saw Zanadi Zaitchik playing this. This line is excellent for white. Not easy. Just a minute. I will show you here. Here, where is this? For example, h4 with the idea I want to bring the knight. So let's see. No game found. There should have been. Maybe H4 here. What do you mean? The no game found. Okay, I will show that later on. First, I will take you to the games. Benko Gambit is full playable. I will give time. Ramakrishna, I will give some session. Benko and Benoni. I think at least it needs 6 sessions. Benko and Benoni. Because you can be a strong reporter for attacking players. Then I will discuss Catalan, white and black. I have to set the games. I need to look myself ideal games. So I am not showing general ideas. I will show with a particular data. Benko, Benoni, Catalan. Okay, here let me show. One game of Benko Gambit I have kept. I will show you. Please wait a minute. I will write back. I will write back. Let us have a look at the Benko Gambit. Okay. And now this is the idea that white is pawn up and pieces are exchanged and there is no target for black. Normally that bishop on the board, suppose bishop at g2, the black bishop would have generated play. But now there is no activity. Very, very important. If you don't do this, the knight will come here and the knight will come. Preparing play. You will seize the square. Suppose you play careless move here, then he gets excellent counterplay. It is too late. The knight will come. Idea now he will want to play here and the squares will come. So do not allow this. Very important move. S3. Very well played by white. Now white plays in such a way. Now this is basically a target. These two lines. These two lines are target. So rook, rook, queen there, rook. Now he has defended. He has defended this point, and this point is defended. This point is, which one is a target now? Now there is no target for black, and his knight cannot maneuver. This knight has to come all the way like this, too slow. All the point guarded. आप कहाँ पर अटैक करोगे? This is too slow now. He will push all the way back. Weakness. I want to provoke weakness. Now there is a weak point is there. This sudden knight jump will come. This this is outplayed. Black is a grandmaster. Later on he became grandmaster, Arbako, but now this is already bad. So this is an interesting idea. I am only giving you ideas that it is not that this position is plus. A correct play, black gets counter play. It is not that this variation here. It is not that here. Why you should play here? This is a dead wood. Any moment you will take. You go on this bishop here. Go on bishop. Now you can't play. So you have to play in c3. Now you castle. And now you have to commit. You need to commit g3 or you need to commit e4. Now if you play e4, okay, I play d6. Now you have to double up. Then I take. So it makes a big difference. Now you play g3, it is too slow. So why you should take the pawn? I would rather say bishop g7 instead of taking the pawn. Black is good. See, this lot of improvements takes place every time from a game. So this is not good. I would say that Benko Gambit, there are four, five, many authors have written. I like the book written by John Fedorovich, Grandmaster John Fedorovich of USA, America. He has written an excellent book on Benko Gambit. Then, if you want to know the basics of Benko Gambit, Edward Gufeld has written a good book, Basics of Benko Gambit. Then Lev Albert has written a book. I think so. He is a great exponent of Benko Gambit. So you should study the game of Lev Albert, John Fedorovich. So players, active players, Judith Polgar. Let me take you to the game. Adams and Kachu that I showed you already. Already I showed you that BB5 move. Did I? A43 का यही था ना? ये दिखाया. Kachu. Now this is another good game. Snake Benoni is not good. Okay, Snake Benoni is not good. You should know how to handle. I will discuss. Good move. This is just not great. You should now first of all here you should not play here. This is bad. Now you should you should develop the pieces, but instead of that it takes it. This turns out to be bad. Good move. This is a good move now. If you take this pawn, now white has already castled. Now complications will favor white only. If you take the pawn, bishop f4. Abhi only move, then pawn takes pawn. Already trouble. You can't take this. You cannot take this. This is already problem. And these are all bad moves. So excellently played. Who is white here? At Kachu. Very good move. D4. Very well played. Queen D4. Now defend D6. If you give, then you won't get much. You will take and you will take the pawn. Not really great. So he comes back. White is better. Now the centralized queen cannot be attacked easily. Normally when the knight is on B8 you attack. Who is going to attack? White is better now. Pressure. The pressure on the D line. Plus minus. The position for the pawn, you have got more than enough. Such an idea we have seen in rouser attack. One, I will show you that gambit in rouser attack also. We have seen such a line. After knight into c6, then e5 and queen coming. But this is also plus. Bishop into g5 will be very bad. After bg5 and g5 is winning. So only move. Only move. Plus. It is not about the piece position. It is about that activity and center. Very well played. Disaster position. It's just four pieces on the king. Khatam. It's all over. He cannot take anything. He cannot take f6. He cannot take g5. Over. Lost. So here the whole idea. This found this knight f6. He played this very active knight f6 d4. All of a sudden the black is taken back. What players is thinking? The pawn is attacked, you come back and defend. You come and defend. Then he will enjoy. Suppose you play some this sort of move, then he will play d5. And now a French character is very good for black. This is black is happy. But opening the game, suddenly he gets into trouble. You take knight e4, bf4 is coming. Classical King's Indian. This is ridiculous to play this. I cannot understand why you have to play a move like a6. At least nc6 makes direct. a6 with the idea of nc6 and b5 rook b8 too slow. Okay, now he wants to prepare rb8 and then b5. Good move. The old line is like this. The old main line. This, and after knight here, white will play nd2. With the idea, white will prepare rb1 and b3 or b4. This is white also stands better. This is anyway white advantages. Now c5 has to come. So now you play rook b1. Idea b3 and white gets better game. So the same thing, white makes an improvement here in the same variation. White plays here queen d3. bf5 is bad. After bf5, he will play e4. So nd7. Clear better. Now defend. There is already you have sensing danger now. Now the knight is stranded. Knight is stranded. The queen is watching this. Lot of problem. Now the white diagonal is weak. White is already a clear plus. Now the point is, I want to exchange the bishop. This is a good move because this weakness will be bad. Then there is a weak point. But before doing this, why not bring bro? Hamper the coordination of black pieces. My main plan is to come here, but why not play this, force the bishop, and then come? So then there is, bishop is watching the rook indirectly, and he has to waste a move. More important thing is one move will be wasted. So cannot dislodge that. This is check and over. So many threats is coming. First of all, there is a rook will come here. Then you have to move the bishop in the diagonal. Your queen is tied down for the knight. So many weaknesses. Plus minus this is. Well, it is bad, but whatever you do is bad. I cannot say this is bad. And if you say bad, suggest there is nothing bad position. You cannot suggest anything. Run, run, run only run. Now 2-1 majority, 2-1 majority and space bad king. कुछ भी नहीं है अभी. Plus even you may dump this so that two passed pawns will come. R7 or this is interesting idea, queen d3. Interesting idea here. Please note this moves will cause lot of trouble to your opponent. This regular line, this move, suddenly everything becomes different. Now, advanced variation. Now, pawn takes pawn is bad. The pawn takes pawn, ng3 with advantage to white. White is better. You come here, now bishop takes pawn and I'll come back to e2. So, pawn takes pawn is not good move. So, here, so, no problem. Queen. I think white stands better. He's simply giving a threat of pawn f3. So, pawn f3 is threatened. Here better. Lot of pawn weaknesses and king castling queen side is also not safe. Lot of weak position. Now just systematically improving the game. Castle is ruled, you cannot castle. So he goes for this one. Forced, giving the bishop is bad, no good square. Queen into. What else? Now the threat is coming. The threat is coming here and coming here. Comes. So how should you play now? Please, I want you to think and tell me. Hello, Devers. I will talk Benko Gambit. I told you, Benko and Benoni is not a small subject. So, Benko Gambit needs around 4 sessions and Benoni also needs around 4-5 sessions. So, I will go, it may take 4 days for both. I will cover this because Benko and Benoni can be substituted anytime. It is both are very active line and it will suit young players. Most of you are having active style, so I will discuss Benko Benoni. Maybe after a few days, 2-3 days more. I will have to collect the data first. Ideal games. All right. Now in this position, he has played King E7. So how would you play now? How would you play? So White played here castle, rook. Now rook against the king, knight. Naturally, now knight is gunning here. Now knight is against this, the queen is against this. So he wanted to change queen. So that you take queen exchange, king d6, everything is okay. So how should you play now? अब क्या करेंगे आप? What should white do? What will you do? Where will you go? White to play and win. Dina, queen into d6. Dina, think again. Dina, there is better move. Better than that. Think. It's a puzzle. Now I'm clearly telling you it's a puzzle. Just like a tactics. White to play and win. White to play and win. Veerabhadra Singh, no, not queen f5. Not queen f5. Not queen f5. White made a move, black resigned. White made a move, black immediately resigned. No, 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 no. What will force a resignation? He made a very quiet move. He did not do any action. A quiet move. Khatam. Chalo, who said that? Paris Kumar. The correct move. Bishop f3. खत्म. कुछ भी डिफेंस ही नहीं है. देर इज नो. अभी थ्रेट है. ये एक थ्रेट है और ये एक थ्रेट है. कुछ डिफेंस ही नहीं. You will lose 2 pawns. Minimum 2 pawns for nothing. Black will lose now 2 pawns for nothing. Devers, Paris, congratulations. Because now queen into queen, he will take knight into, and here knight into. There are too many threats. एक थ्रेड ये है, एक थ्रेड ये है, 2 pawn डाउन, 2 pawn, एंड कुछ कर ही नहीं सकता है. द होल पॉइंट इज ही कैनॉट गो अवे. बिशप मर रहा है. ही कैनॉट मूव. क्वीन मर रहा है. ही कैनॉट डू एनीथिंग. तो ये जो है, रूक आ गया. प्लेयर शुड बी अलर्ट. प्लेयर शुड बी अलर्ट. ओके. So, okay, I will show is the similar thing. Sachs versus somebody. I will say one more. एडवांस का एक और देख लो. This variation is played normally. Black plays e6 and c5. This is the one. So he is designing to go against that. This is the idea. c5 खेलने नहीं देगा. Next I will play bishop here. So I want to control and make him tough. तीन कंट्रोल होगा इसके ऊपर। आया already advantage. The reason I picked up the position is there is very instructive lesson is there. You place bishop. Now there is a threat. There is a threat here. What should you do? How white should play now? करना क्या है? I will tell you, you should always keep your mind very cool. This is not a mate. It is only a pawn. This is only a pawn. So after the pawn, king moves and bishop will be in trapeze situation. Please note, you need not get panic. थ्रेट आ गया, ये खेल दो, ये खेल दो, ऐसा मत करो. Don't just play queen, pawn into. You have to take. This is bad. If you take now the piece is out top. So you take. Now I will smash that. The reason I want to play g3, but the knight bishop into knight in. Go. अभी knight कहाँ जाएगा और ये ट्रैप कर देगा. This is not going to work. This is not going to work. ये खत्म हो जाएगा. कुछ नहीं मिलेगा उसको. ये king in trouble. So you should remain very cool. Don't worry that threat is there. That means coolly pawn into, and now tempo. Bishop into pawn, still not worry. If you take bishop into pawn and king, and now still there is a problem. You move the knight, the same variation. I'll trap. So here only move, and now queen. I support, and now also pressure. Now keep moving. Plus minus. White pieces, black has no counterplay, nothing, no mobility of pawn, and no mobility of knight. Excellent handling. ये गया. This position is completely gone. So the whole point is never get panic because of some small threat. Next, कितना 2-3 गेम में कर देंगे. So I am covering that this is a very solid line. ये किया ना अभी. This is what I did. I did this next. Now this position black is extra pawn, but white has center and development. So c6, it appears that black is maintaining the pawn. White is better. White is better in this position. It is a dynamic thing. You have got center, better development, better king position. Black has a pawn. That means if white will not do anything, black will win the game. In 3-4 moves, you have to do something before black consolidates. वो करेगा, पक्का करेगा. And now this is the pawn into pawn is bad. This is just bad. So please, what will you do now? The point is now the drawback of the position is not sufficiently developed. There are 3-4 points. One, the bishop is against this line. This is one. Second, development problem. So if the queen is exchanged, he is gone. So fantastic move. Ivanshu played great move, giving a threat here. And if you take the queen, the knight is coming on this pawn and on this pawn. So the knight will wonderful. You cannot avoid queen exchange. क्वीन एक्सचेंज आप अवॉइड नहीं कर सकते. Gone. Whatever you do, gone. Now he lost the pawn and everything is bad. All weak pawns and underdevelopment. Finish. The position is plus minus. That means you should always see where are the weak points. For one pawn, there is very good compensation. So center development, you have to force yourself to think the position is good, where to strike and how to strike. प्लस माइनस आगे देखना जरूरी नहीं. जरूरी नहीं है. ये एक एक करके जाएगा सब. सब जाएगा. One more game. Last game. Sakhar Mamadiyarov, a 2800 grandmaster, and versus Alexei is also very strong. That's a normal position. So this is standard. Everything is opening theory. All played quickly. Okay. Now I feel that the position black is fine. Absolutely fine. Maybe I feel black is little better here. I feel. But the way game goes on, you see. You have to move the piece and now bishop. Now queen pawn into attack the knight. Career in chess is so tough for 2000 2500 plus. It is really tough to make living out of it. I will tell you, Vishal Tiwari, now career is not tough. There are in chess one makes money various areas. For example, organizer can make money. You know, you can organize tournament and you get sponsorship. You make a team. You have a sets. You have a volunteer. You have arbiter, and you have a place, and you make some money. Organizers can make some money. A good organizer, very well planning organizer, chess organizer can make some money. Number one. Then there is another group, chess journalist. They also make money. I was a chess journalist for 8 years. 8 years I worked for Indian Express. I got good money. So journalists make money, organizer make money, arbiters also can make a living because there are now every 2 3 days there is a rating tournament. In a rating tournament, 2 3 arbiters are there. So arbiters also there is a living because arbiter and coaching. A player can be a good coach, then he can make a living. But you have to work. The point is now a player must work very hard. To be a good coach, one did not become a great player. You know, you can coach even beginners. If a player is working hard, some coaching material, making a syllabus, he can train upcoming student, small children. That also make money. So coaching, arbiter, journalism, chess organization, and then there is also another area also the people make administration. So various areas in FIDE they get good salary. The secretary or the some commissioner they get money. So various areas you can making a living One has to work hard. One will not work and he will blame that there is no money. Suppose one want to become coach, he must read a lot of material. He must prepare syllabus. He must make a routine, and he should know how to do marketing. I'm sure there is opportunity. But if you say, as a player winning prize money, one cannot make a living by making prize money. That is difficult, very difficult. And secondly, in India, we get support from corporate office, joining a bank, joining a corporation as a sportsman. So they give contractors, Airport Authority of India, some banks, some oil companies, and maybe some railway. They also give job. So you get half time free. You can play. You get support. So you can become a semi-professional. So that is also a good way to think. But one has to work. Suppose if I see a player is talented and working 3 4 years seriously, he will become IM. Minimum nowadays to become IM. Then only you get opens for you. If you are not achieving a title, nobody cares. You need to get authentic certificate. In my time, IM was a great thing, more than GM now. But now you become a GM, it is also not great, but minimum IM. Then you can start coaching, making academy, or you can do something. You can do it. Why don't school keep chess as subject? And IMs, FMs can become lecturer in school. Yes, actually, I tell you, marketing. One has to go to the school and convince the parent, convince the headmaster, convince the teacher and a principal how chess is useful, how it can discipline the mind, how it will improve, and give a demonstration of lecture. Then in Bombay, I was doing chess coaching in 3 schools. Then I came to Gujarat. I left that. So you can be a coach in different school also. So there is always scope, but one has to work. Even if you want to become a coach, first 3 4 years you study as a player, then as a coaching material you work. One has to make a lot of notes, work. When the student asks a variation, one should be ready. Or asking a position, one should be ready. One has to go to the school or a college, principal, headmaster. One has to convince that how chess can be useful. Okay, coming to that, this position, I am asking, who is better and why? Can somebody tell me who is better? Yes, it is Bago Indian Defense Paris, but now who is better? My question, please tell me who is better in this position? Dina Patel, Dina Patel says white. Actually, black is better. Actually, black is better. But I will tell you, you are looking at that. You have this. All this looks very good. All this looks bad, right? All this looks bad. But this night, this is the whole point. This is the whole point that the other night is joining. That black's better. Let us look at the position. Yes, black. Who says Paris? Black is better. Now look here, knight. So he plays knight. What else? How are you going to defend? This is passive. If you play rook here, this is very passive position. Now attack and attack. Now your pieces are attacked. This is bad. Now rook is in. ये गणपत हो गया. ये rook गणपत हो जाएगा. So you cannot play rook. You can't play rook. So आपको क्या करना है? Knight आएगा. तो मैं मारेगा. And now you come here, I will play queen. No, this here in the variation you should take. After the move, you should take it. You must take the pawn. Take. Now rook is under attack. Now you take the, you give how many, you are not losing. ये भी जा रहा है तो ये ले लो और ये भी जाएगा. अभी this is under attack, this is under attack. Okay, so give the queen, give it. अभी इसको कहाँ बचाएगा? ऑल दिस इज कंट्रोल, ये कंट्रोल है, ये जो दो नाइट सारे कंट्रोल कर रहा है, तो गया E5. अभी ये भी है, डायरेक्ट क्यों नहीं है, ये भी है मेरे पास, ये भी है, तो डायरेक्ट जाओ, ये भी चलेगा. ऑलरेडी हॉरिबल पोजिशन, यू कैन सी मिजरेबल नाइट, मिजरेबल क्वीन, और ये जो है इसके सामने ये थ्रेट तो है, गया. So he got a good position, but the player has to evaluate. But I don't know, maybe tension of tournament, whatever. So he did not play. Queen into was winning. I mean, at this point, this was just clear better. But he went astray. Bad. अभी तो माइनस हो गया, अभी माइनस हो गया. This is becoming turnout bad. खत्म. अभी चांस बार बार नहीं आता. In chess, you do not get chance often. When you get a chance, you exploit. खत्म हो गया चांस. अब कुछ नहीं होगा, पीसेस कुछ नहीं है, क्या अटैक है, कुछ नहीं, नथिंग, इनिशिएटिव खत्म. अभी हम ये मारेंगे तो ये मर रहा है. इफ आई टेक मैकेनिकली ये पॉन मारेगा, सो आई गिव नथिंग, नथिंग. नाउ व्हाइट इज विनिंग. So we have to make a judgment. So how your game played with Arun Vaidya? Okay, okay, all right. Okay, I will show. So all these games I have covered. I wanted to show these games. Actually, I played. I played sometime very interesting games. Okay, Arun Vaidya. I was played E4. बैटरी इतना जल्दी चला जाता है, क्या बात कर रहे हो. लगता है ये कंप्यूटर का टाइम आ गया है, पूरा बुढ़ा हो गया लगता है ये. So here, Arun Vaidya IM, he was a good friend of mine, and actually he is a very good coach for intermediate level. Very good coach. So E4 C5, Knight F3, E6, Paulson. He was a specialist of Paulson. Knight takes pawn, played A6, Knight C3, Queen C7. Now I played G3. I wanted to take him away from his preparation. He is so well prepared, so I wanted to just change. This is also easy line. So here G3, he played here Bishop B4, which is not a good move. So I played knight here. Idea, if you give me the dark square, this is very good for me. Very excellent position. So he did not take it. Now he played knight. So I played bishop here. Idea, now if you take bishop, suppose you take bishop into, and now I am putting pressure. You cannot take my pawn. So he played castle. Now he played castle. So I played bishop g. Now he comes queen here. Now I played e5. So he comes knight. I played a3. Maybe one move आगे पीछे. He has come here. And now here I played bishop f4. This is the position. I think I might have played a3 earlier because the game was played in 1994. So 24 years after, I don't remember the move order, but this was the diagram. Now a backward pawn has come. He can't play. So he said this move. This is lost. After this, unbelievable, that game is hopeless. The king and queen in the same diagonal. So this diagonal I exploited in d5. Cannot take that bishop. I actually thought that what a diagram, eh? What a diagram. So the queen is here. It looks good. I thought that queen comes here. It will be very good here. So the pieces are arranged for the next game. The pieces are rearranged for the next game. So I just thought casually, and the queen went there. Queen had to go there. So here I played knight. Queen. Queen cannot go. He cannot go. 97 check is there. On here c4 is there. So here b3. Now again came back. Now bishop e3. Unfortunately, queen takes pawn. The knight here queen trap. In the center of the board, queen has nowhere to go. All this area, all everything is guarded. The queen has nowhere to go. Everything is guarded. So he cannot take the pawn. He went queen. Now bishop f3. He came. Now knight f4. Queen. Now actually I saw the combination immediately. I was actually a sharp tactical player. Even younger days, I was a sharp tactician and attack. So I found immediately that knight is winning. Now if queen into knight, the queen is trapped. So he has to come here. And then I win the exchange. And then I win the exchange and I win the game. But my idea is not to win the exchange. My idea, I want the queen to go here. I want the queen to go here. So I don't want the queen coming to h5. He will if I play here, so I played h4. Now I'm giving a real threat. The queen is not able to go. So he played g5. Now the rook is supported. He cannot take it. Knight into e6. Now queen has to go. Now I had to support this because I can't play. So I had to support. I wanted the diagram all this. So I had to support. And the knight came out. And the knight here. Now this is bad. I came here, check. Now this is all over. Resigned now. कोई प्लेयर को जो ओपनिंग में बोथ क्वीन निकाल रहा था तो यूज गेम दिखाना है. So this is just bad. Queen c4 was a bad move. This was a bad move. And after, I think I played move order earlier a3. Now this position is plus. Maybe here he should play go back. He should go back. And then you play knight c6. This is okay. Black is bad, but still there is a game. I will play h4. H4. Then he will go knight. I think I think the position white is better. This is white is plus because queen e2 and white stands definitely having space and more as as advantageous position. Yes, yes, yes. Mr. Sagar Saha had an interview with me. So thank you very much, friends. I will take tomorrow only. Maybe Benko Benoni. I will start tomorrow. Benko Gambit, and then I will do Benoni. Benko Gambit will take me about 4 sessions. That means 2 days. In 2 days, I will be covering the Benko Gambit. Then I will go to Benoni. 2 days. So Benko and Benoni I will cover. Okay. So then I will go to other lines. So tomorrow I will start Benko Gambit for black. Okay. Thank you very much. सबको मेरा नमस्कार. See you tomorrow morning 9:30 for the session on Bangkok for black. Bye.